Welcome back to Everything Mathematics, and today hopefully should be a short one. Today we're just following through with what we started yesterday, and we're going to continue with the types of angles. Today specifically, we just have to be able to identify the correct angle to its respective type. And so we're going to just look at this first activity here. Here we have 14 angles, and we have 5 types of course as we addressed in yesterday's video. So all you need to be able to do today is associate these types of angles with their respective type, or the respective angles to their respective type. I will quickly just go through the type. In the meantime, you could attempt them, or you could pause it here if you don't want me to disturb you or hear me, and then you're going to start. So quickly, an acute angle is an angle that is more than 0 but less than 90. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees, no more, no less. A straight angle is exactly 180 degrees, no more, no less. Obtuse angle is more than 90 but less than 180. And a reflex angle is more than 180 but less than 360. So with that in mind, let's go. Let's see if we could get the same thing. So I'll start with 95 here, and as I do them, I'll just scratch it up. So 95 I know is an obtuse angle. Hope you had that. Because it is more than 90 but less than 180. 100 degrees, it's also obtuse. More than 90 but less than 180. 34 degrees is an acute angle. It is more than 0, it is more than 0 but less than 90 degrees. 54 is also acute, more than 0 but less than 90 degrees. 234, that is a reflex angle, no question there. It is more than 180 but less than 360. And here we have 356, that is also reflex. 356, more than 180 but less than 360. And in this case, you could say barely less than 360. 50 degrees, that's a definite acute, close to 54. But again, by definition, it is more than 0 and less than 180. Less than 90, sorry. 170 is definitely an obtuse, coming very close to 180, but it's not. 180, 170 degrees is obtuse, more than 90 but less than 180. 20 degrees, acute. 189 degrees, that is a reflex angle. Cutting it close there, that's a reflex angle. I could see some of you put this as obtuse. Just kidding, I can't see why I did. 90 degrees, exactly 90 degrees, we have Mr. Right Angle. So let's put in big and bold there. 23 degrees, that is definitely acute. Then we have 124, that's definitely 124 is an obtuse, more than 90 but less than 180. And then we have 12 degrees, that is acute angle, more than 0, less than 190. So if anybody had anything under the straight angle, that means you made a mistake somewhere. And that's totally fine, by the way. Of course, once you know the rules, you wouldn't make this mistake. But when you don't know, of course, you have to practice. And it honestly comes down to as simple as understanding what is an acute, what is right, what is obtuse, what is straight, and what is a reflex. If you know that, you should not have a problem. Should. And commit it to memory. Don't worry about me. I've been doing this thing for years, so I know it. But only up, I had to devise ways and strategies to differentiate an acute angle. I remember one of the things I used to do is like saying acute angle is like the lesser than or the greater than sign, which is true, you know. This is an acute angle. Then after I used to say the straight angle is like a straight line, you know. And simple things like that help me to recall some of these things. So you devise something that you could recall and you should be fine. The other thing you have to be able to do is if I give you something like this, or if you get something like that, you have to be able to identify the type of angle here. And as I was saying in the video yesterday, The best way to do this is to have two angles as a point of reference, and those two angles being the 90-degree angle and the straight angle. If you know what these two angles look like, then you'll have a better image or picture denoting when it's acute, when it's obtuse, when it's reflex, or when it's well, straight or right. Good. So in this case here now, remember, the curve tells us the degree, the magnitude of the angle. So here we will simply, or I didn't put the instruction here, sorry. Here we are supposed to identify what type of angle. And we don't need the degrees. In the previous one we had the degrees, but here we're not using the degree. Here we simply identify the angles based on what they look like. And with that in mind, you should have been able to identify here to be an acute or shots. I jumped the gun. But by the way, yes, you can pause it. And in a matter of fact, let me make your life easy. Let me label them too. So we have A, B, C, and D. So you could pause the video here. I'll do one for you already and see if you could answer the rest. Okay, good. But I am pausing. I am going straight. Good. Bless. So we have A as an acute because you can see that it is closing in from a right angle. So that will be acute. It is less than 90 but more than 180. Or as I said just now there, it looks like the greater than sign or the lesser than sign. That's one way to remember too many. B here we can see that it is an obtuse angle. So you have to be able to identify this one as an obtuse. And again it comes on to understanding that a right angle would have been, let me say, somewhere here. Just imaginary here. And then of course this is more than that. This is open out farther than a 90. This here we have to be able to see that this is a reflex. And for this one, our point of reference would have been the right angle, sorry, the straight angle. You have to see that if it was here, it would have been a straight angle, meaning that it would have been 180 degrees, but evidently this goes more than that. So a reflex is more than 180, but less than 360. And here we also could see that this looks like the greater than sign or the lesser than sign. So here you should have identified this as an acute angle. And again, I know it's easier said than done, but this comes with practice. Once you know your types of angles, you will easily be able to identify these angles just like how I am doing here right now. Believe it or not, I don't have no pre-notes, I don't have no workout in advance, no, I just confidently looking at these angles and identifying them to their respective types because it's what you should be able to do once you have that mental picture of what is an acute angle, what is an obtuse, right, straight, reflex, and of course if you have 2 points of reference angle, which I normally use the right angle and the straight angle. So once you do that, believe me, you'll be on the same page as me, if not better. So that brings us to the end of today. You know the routine. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't as yet, let's reach 1,000. Comment. If there's anything that was not clear, I will gladly meet with you, have a one-on-one so that I could show you anything that you're not clear about and turn on that notification. So you'll keep getting videos so that you could tell your classmates and they could watch along with you from Mondays to Fridays. Until then, you take care. Until tomorrow, God willing, when we do our last video for this week. Au revoir.